Guys, welcome to part 2 of semester 2, Mrs. Nelson's class expectations. Let's talk a little bit about cameras and BRB. Be right back. These are the things I want you to know. I definitely feel much more connected with students who at least occasionally have their camera on. I will tell you, all teachers agree. Those of you who have never been anything more than a small black square to us, it's really hard to feel that connection, and we all want it. But second of all, I understand not always wanting your camera on. I really do. But you should be making efforts to be in a space that you're willing to show if possible. If this is not possible, let your teachers know why. Make some effort to join office hours and get to know them. Yeah, just know it's really, really hard to feel that connection or feel that we know you and all we've ever seen is a black square. I definitely, anybody who's regularly had their camera on, I feel like I know. I do not, though, however, appreciate cameras on when a student is purposefully being a distraction. So wearing a mask, you've got something going on in your screen that it would not be school appropriate or helpful for the other students to see. You really do have to remember to do your best to have behavior similar to in-class behavior. You still want to practice that. I promise you we will be back in school at some point, and so you need to practice being a student in a classroom even though you're in a different environment. So please, no purposeful distractions on your camera. I also do understand that cameras off can make your Chrome run better, but also pinning your screens takes care of this because your camera's not running. It's just dealing with all you're really looking at is the screen that you have pinned. And then lastly, BRB, that's not something that would happen in class. You wouldn't just stand up and say, hey, teacher, BRB. So really try to avoid that at home. You will miss important information. Every once in a while, it's acceptable, kind of like, okay, I'm going to run to the restroom really fast, or an occasional, you can say BRB if it's something that you don't want to share. But if that is constant and you're always called on and you're clearly not there, definitely a call home will be necessary. If you are asked to go in a breakout room expectations, when I pop in there, I should see someone's screen being presented because you're working together on something. Both of the participants or the group of participants should be unmuted. It should be fast back and forth talking, like regular conversations. Someone speaks, someone else answers without having that long pause of unmuting. If you guys were in school, you would be expected to work with partners throughout your day, all day long. This is an important social aspect of school, and we definitely learn by talking. I'm going to try and use some more breakout rooms. We decided as a teaching staff, we have to work harder to make them more successful because keep popping into them where no one's talking, everyone's muted, and you just have to remember back crazy times when things were normal, you'd just be working with the person next to you and it wouldn't be a big deal. And then when you're in that breakout room, use the little raise hand feature, need help feature if you need help. All right, lastly, student view versus Google Classroom. Student view versus Google Classroom. Each week you should keep up with the assignment showing up as due on your classes page. So right here I put in a little test assignment. These blank ones would indicate nothing else due this week. This is the only time during the week that on this classes page those due assignments show up. So I would just keep up with everything right there. You can use a to-do list in a similar manner. I do suggest if you do that, use a little drop-down menu and sort by class. It looks very overwhelming to see them all at once. And then the due dates just aren't quite as obvious. Assignments that show up in Google Classroom may end up in Student View as participation points or at a different point value. Sometimes I decrease the point value if we didn't do super well. Sometimes I double it. Sometimes it just goes straight into your participation points. So you need to be really good at Student View and Google Classroom. Student View is a better place to evaluate how to use your study hall time on Fridays if you've completed